Hi, autograph addicts. Kevin Martin again from Piece of the Past. Wanting to talk to you today about auctions and how awful they've gotten. I know what you're thinking. Kevin, don't you run an auction house? We do, and we're not saying we're the only good one, but let me tell you how bad it's gotten. I'm a collector just like you, not just a dealer, and so I've noticed these things more than maybe I would have if I had been just a dealer. There was a recent Eaton Auctions, Eaton Brennan, I think, call it auctions, that really drove home to me what's going on in the auction world, and you should pay attention to it. They're not auctioning anything anymore. No, they're not. You're a pigeon. We're all pigeons. We need to stop bidding in the auction houses that start the bids at or above what they would have sold the item to you right out for, or what the item sells for currently in the marketplace. Give you a good example. In this auction, they had an item that was estimated by them, by the auction house, at $5,000 to $6,000. Starting bid, $5,000. As you know, auctions have buyer's premiums, and while ours is still at 10% the lowest in the business, this one was, like most of them, 25%. Now, math was never my strong suit in high school, but let me tell you, 25% of 5,000 is going to bring that up and over 6. We're not even talking about shipping and all the rest. In other words, your opening bid, which I guarantee you probably win it for, is for what the item was worth by their own estimation. Auctions are fantastic for one thing and one thing only. Well, actually two. And this is what you should look for in an auction. You look for either an item that should be in the auction because it is a one of a kind. A Pink Floyd guitar is not a one of a kind. A Beatles set of signatures is not a one of a kind. A Marilyn Monroe signed photo is not a one of a kind. A one of a kind. Therefore, it should be auctioned. We tell this to consigners all the time, to our own auction house. Number two, that is, anything can be auctioned if they're allowing the market to set the price. Start like we do in our auctions, $20, $30, very low, and let it rip at no reserve. Oh, well, what about reserves? Oh, they're hidden. They used to not be hidden, now they're hidden. On Live Auctioneers, there are tons of these companies. This is absurd. Another real example for you from just the last few weeks. This auction company got a miniature Batmobile used in the first Michael Keaton film. It had sold at Profiles in History years and years ago for $6,000, had the original paperwork. Has it gone up in value since then? You bet. I think it's probably worth closer to $15,000 now. The opening bid was $4,000 throughout the auction for several weeks, a month online. No one opened it. When it went live and to open at $4,000, stating no reserve, I opened it. I would love to have had it for my collection. I was willing to pay $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000, maybe even more. You know, you get emotional in an auction. I opened it for the $4,000, but the moment I hit pressed for the $4,000, it lagged and didn't show and beep, 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 beep. And the next thing you know, they pop up and say opening bid is now $35,000. $35,000, which it allegedly sold for, which I don't believe. So there's that scam going on out there. Mint Auctions and several of these other companies do this all the time. They'll start everything at $10 until it goes live, and then it suddenly climbs up. Those aren't even real bids, folks. They're not even real bids. Stop the insanity. So that's going on. They're selling it at retail anyway. Same thing's going on eBay. Stop dealing with these people that on eBay, this is just craziness. Oh, it's an auction, but the opening price is the value of the item. That's not an auction. That's not how an auction works. Not how Sotheby's and Christie's works. Not how real auction houses work. Not how Heritage works. Bonhams, Butterfields, us. But a lot of people are doing it. What are they risking? They're risking nothing. And usually it's not even a consigned item. More and more they're selling their own items. We've sold our own items in our auction before. But by and large, that's what these people are doing. And they're just, it's retail, but it's more than retail. Because once you factor in the buyer's premium and the rest, you're getting screwed. One last way you can get screwed. Absolutely just cheating, lying, and everything else. Give you a good example of that. There's a famous auction house that deals in props and costumes out of the UK. Not since the Revolutionary War have I had indifferent feelings about the UK over this one. Once again, collector, not dealer. They had some items from the very famous late deceased actor Alan Rickman. I bid on some Galaxy Quest items. I won them. They used the Live Auctioneer platform, which we do and a lot of people do, or you could have bid on their website. I wanted a little fairer shake later with the shipping, which you can really get screwed, especially abroad. So I chose to pay the higher percentage and bid through Live Auctioneers. I had a maximum bid. My maximum bid was higher than what it sold to me for. 2 weeks I tried to pay my invoice in the thousands of dollars. 2 weeks I tried to pay it. I sent them emails, no answer. I went through Live Auctioneers, no answer. Then finally, after 2 weeks, the prop house, who's known for these shenanigans, says to me, oh, at the last minute, somebody bid on our floor, like there was anybody there, on our floor auction live, and they took it away from you. How'd they take it away from me? Because if the auction was still running, I had a maximum bid, and it would have been executed by Live Auctioneers. Live Auctioneers even had us file a formal complaint on this. Don't know if that'll go anywhere to keeping them off the platform, but it should. This is how bad it is out there for auction houses. But you hold the key, you hold the power. We have the purse in our hands. We're the buyers. Stop the insanity and watch what you're doing out there. They'll run you down. Until next time, happy collecting, everybody.